What is up? I am back for another video. What if I told you you could use Sitecore in a completely headless way and still keep using it because your content editors are probably quite used to how Sitecore works. Your backend developers quite understand how the data models go and all the pipelines and all the awesome things. Keep that in place. But as a front-ender, be able to work outside of Experience Editor, make your own front end, doesn't matter what kind of front end you put against it. And also as a content editor, have the flexibility to quite easily just add, let's say, an Algolia search and a Cloudinary image and whatever, Shopify, anything goes. And Sitecore just sits there as the content repository that you just take stuff from. And then you could host it anywhere. And you could maybe even kill Sitecore CD servers. That sounds pretty interesting, right? If you are in the Sitecore world. Obviously, if you're not and you're watching this, I might say a lot of gibberish here. But let's talk about how Sitecore can work as a really good content repository for a system that you've been working with for years, let's say. And you don't need to do an update, right? What I'm going to show you works with even Sitecore 8.2. It works with JSS, it works with SXA, with all the things. So let me show you where I work at Uniform, how we do this. Like Sitecore still stays the same, but your whole front-end experience is like so much more awesome. So let's go. So this here is a project that is running a Uniform starter kit. It's using a Sitecore integration and a Netlify integration because that's where we can deploy our website. And so you can go to integrations. You can see here I have my Sitecore, I have my URL, my API key. Of course, that's now hidden because I don't want you to get my API key. And you see I'm using Habitat. And so when you go to this tab here, you can see on that URL, just the standard Sitecore Habitat is running. And it's working fine. It's just how Sitecore would render it, right? And so what we have here is Uniform's platform, or we call it a DXC, that allows you to content edit as a content editor with all different types of sources, from e-commerce stuff to legacy stuff that you integrate with yourself. It's all quite loosely coupled and it works really well because it kind of feels like Experience Editor from Sitecore, but it's agnostic to the tech. It's much more free. So if we just go to the homepage here, so this is a Uniform starter kit running on Nuxt 3 that just released, and it's querying Sitecore data. And so if you now click on, let's say, this hero here, you see interested in getting started. This is actually a content item coming from Sitecore. Like when you look here, there's the data source with the Sitecore icon, right? I can just hit edit here. And so now I am here in Sitecore where all that content is coming from, right? And we just selected it here. I can also say, let me just select another one. Maybe do flexibility, select. And so now that became the flexibility item from Sitecore. So Sitecore becomes a data source where you can still content edit, data model, stuff you need, but the presentation is completely separated and is elsewhere. So I can actually go here and just go to, currently this is my local host, and there is everything. And it kind of feels a little bit like you are in Experience Editor because you're editing what you see. And there's even personalization stuff going on here. And if you want to look at the code, this is fairly simple. This is just a out-of-the-box Nuxt 3 website that's running Uniform here. So the Uniform SDK sits on top of Nuxt 3, queries Uniform, helps you query Sitecore, and you can do whatever you want there. Right, so you can go to the pages and you can see here that actually it's using like getting the uniform composition for the slug that it's on at the moment. And then it does some magic to actually query the data from Uniform. Well, it's not that magical. I just have a composable that queries an API route that will get the information from Uniform, get the information from Sitecore, maps the props of your data to the components, and then run with it. So this is my hero component, and you can see here in the TypeScript, it's giving the component, which is a Uniform component instance with all the data it needs. And then I get the teaser title and the teaser summary, and that's what you're seeing here, right? So when we go in here, you can actually see there's a teaser image, teaser title, teaser summary. I could grab that image and show you on the page because this is just, Sitecore just became a data source. And this works extremely well because I just chose Nuxt 3. I can also choose Nuxt 13. I can also choose Astro. Nobody cares. As long as you have that little SDK that queries uniform, all is good. And so if we now go to integrations and you want to add something else, be my guest. You can do Adobe AEM as yet another content source, or add BigCommerce or Bluestone PIM. Anything goes, right? And this is a very interesting approach to how you would use Sitecore, but not get away from it, because it's actually a great system to use. It's just when you render with it on the front end, it becomes very slow. And when you use the Sitecore approved approach you have to use for Cell and Nuxt, and it's very much tightly coupled to Sitecore, and that's what we don't want. Real composability is flexibility. There shouldn't be any opinion, and that's what this does for you. And so that's what I wanted to show you today. I hope this excites you a little bit. It might also annoy you a little bit, because I know in the Sitecore world, Sitecore, people love it, right? I love it too. It has defined my career. It's just another approach to solving a problem. Because the lovely thing with this is when we now deploy this to, let's say, I don't know, any edge, Uniform could cache that on the edge for you, for example, or you can make a Jamstack site. And what that means is you can say goodbye to your CD servers, which are very expensive to run. That's pretty interesting, right? There's many approaches to solving a problem of building a website, and this is one of them, and I wanted to show you. So cheers, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.